Hello, future biologists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of diseases, cause and control. Today, we are diving into the very first step, understanding what a disease is and how we identify it. We'll start with the basics, then gradually explore deeper concepts, advanced techniques, and even competitive insights. Get ready to uncover the mysteries behind why our bodies sometimes get sick. Let's begin our exploration at the easy level, where we'll lay down the fundamental understanding of disease and how we first notice it. What exactly is a disease? Simply put, it's any condition that stops your body or any of its parts from working as it should. Think about it: when you have a cold, you sneeze, cough, and feel tired, right? That's your body not functioning normally, causing discomfort. This definition helps us understand that disease isn't just about feeling bad, but about a disruption in your body's usual, healthy operations. It's a key concept to grasp as we move forward. Now, let's understand the difference between health and disease. Health, as defined by the World Health Organization, isn't just being free from sickness. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Disease, on the other hand, is the absence of this complete well-being, indicating a problem with your body's structure or function. So, how do we know we are sick? We look for symptoms, what you feel, like a headache, and signs, what a doctor can see or measure, like a fever. Both are crucial clues. Time for some quick practice questions to check your understanding of the easy-level concepts. Take a moment to think about these. 1. Define disease in your own words. 2. What is the difference between a symptom and a sign? Give one example of each. 3. According to WHO, what does health encompass? Pause the video if you need more time to answer these questions. Ready to dive a bit deeper? At the medium level, we'll expand on our definitions and explore more about how diseases manifest and are initially identified. Let's refine our understanding of disease. It's a pathological condition, meaning it involves an abnormal state affecting a part, organ, or system of an organism. It can stem from various causes: infections, genetic issues, or even environmental stress. Crucially, a disease is characterized by an identifiable group of signs or symptoms. It fundamentally impairs the body's normal homeostatic mechanisms, which are your body's ways of maintaining balance, leading to functional disturbances. This broader definition helps us appreciate the complexity involved. Symptoms and signs are our primary tools for early identification. Symptoms are subjective; only the patient experiences them, like feeling dizzy or tired. They are vital for the doctor to understand the patient's personal experience of illness. Signs, however, are objective; they can be observed or measured by anyone, such as a doctor detecting a rash or measuring high blood pressure. Together, these subjective and objective indicators paint a comprehensive clinical picture, guiding healthcare professionals towards a diagnosis. Recognizing this distinction is fundamental. How do doctors actually identify diseases? It starts with a clinical examination where a doctor observes you, checks your vital signs, and asks detailed questions about your health history and symptoms. Then, there are laboratory tests like blood or urine tests, which analyze samples to find specific markers or pathogens. Finally, medical imaging such as X-rays or MRI scans, allows doctors to see inside your body to identify structural problems. These three methods work together to provide a holistic view for accurate identification. Now, let's test your understanding with 5 practice questions for the medium level. 1. Explain the WHO's holistic definition of health. 2. Why are both symptoms and signs important for disease identification? 3. List 3 basic methods doctors use to identify diseases. 4. What is homeostasis and how does disease affect it? 5. Give an example of a symptom and a sign for the flu. Take your time to formulate your answers. Moving forward to the hard level. Here, we'll analyze the underlying mechanisms of disease and distinguish between different disease states. At the core, disease is a disruption at the cellular, tissue, or organ level, leading to impaired function. We use terms like **etiology** to describe the cause, whether it's a bacterial infection, a genetic mutation, or a lifestyle choice. **pathogenesis** explains the step-by-step mechanism of how that cause leads to the disease's development and its specific signs and symptoms. Understanding this pathophysiological basis helps us connect the dots from the initial trigger to the full manifestation of the illness, providing a deeper insight into disease processes. Let's differentiate between acute and chronic diseases, as this distinction is crucial for identification and management. Acute diseases have a rapid onset, severe symptoms, and a relatively short duration, like a common cold or appendicitis. They often require quick diagnosis and immediate intervention. Chronic diseases, conversely, develop slowly, persist for a long time, sometimes years, and may recur, such as diabetes or asthma. Their identification often involves long-term monitoring and tracking symptom progression. Knowing this helps tailor the diagnostic approach effectively. It's important to distinguish between a disease and a syndrome. Disease is a specific pathological condition with a known cause, distinct signs and symptoms, and a predictable course, like measles. Syndrome however, is a collection of signs and symptoms that occur together and characterize a particular abnormal condition, but where the exact underlying cause might be unknown or involve multiple factors, for example, Down syndrome. While every disease presents with a set of symptoms that could be called a syndrome, not all syndromes have a single, clearly defined disease etiology. This distinction is subtle but significant. Here are 7 practice questions to solidify your understanding of the hard-level content. 1. Differentiate between etiology and pathogenesis. 2. Explain the difference between acute and chronic diseases with an example for each. 3. What is a syndrome, and how does it differ from a disease? 4. Describe the systematic approach to diagnosis. 5. What is differential diagnosis? 6. How do biomarkers assist in disease identification? 7. Why is understanding the pathophysiological basis important for diagnosis? Take your time to answer these in detail. Welcome to the hardest level. Prepare to explore the cutting edge of disease understanding, from historical breakthroughs to advanced diagnostic technologies and complex ethical considerations. The concept of disease has evolved dramatically through history. Ancient civilizations often attributed illness to supernatural forces or imbalances of bodily humors. The groundbreaking germ theory by Pasteur and Koch in the 19th century revolutionized our understanding, proving that microorganisms cause many diseases, shifting identification from mere observation to pathogen detection. Today, we recognize a multicausal approach, considering genetic, environmental, and lifestyle factors alongside pathogens. This historical context shows how scientific progress continually refines our ability to define and identify diseases. At the molecular and cellular level, diseases often arise from dysfunctions like protein misfolding or immune cell attacks. Genetic diseases, for instance, stem from mutations affecting protein function. A key engineering insight here is precision medicine ***. This approach uses advanced genomic, proteomic, and metabolomic data to create tailored diagnostics and treatments for individual patients. It's about moving beyond one-size-fits-all to a highly specific, data-driven understanding of each patient's unique molecular profile, enabling more accurate identification and effective therapy. Modern diagnostics leverage advanced technology. Genomic sequencing identifies disease-causing mutations, crucial for rare genetic disorders and targeted cancer therapies. Proteomics and metabolomics analyze all proteins and metabolites to find disease-specific signatures, aiding early detection. Advanced imaging like PET scans and fMRI provide metabolic and functional insights, vital for oncology and neurology. Furthermore, biosensors and point-of-care devices drawing from engineering principles offer rapid, portable, and non-invasive detection of biomarkers, bringing diagnostics closer to the patient and revolutionizing how and where we identify diseases, making healthcare more accessible and efficient. Beyond individual diagnosis, public health plays a crucial role. Epidemiology studies disease patterns in populations, while disease surveillance continuously monitors health data to detect outbreaks and track trends. Screening programs systematically test asymptomatic individuals to identify those at risk or with early-stage disease, like mammograms or newborn screenings. This population-level identification is vital for public health interventions, such as vaccination campaigns or resource allocation, to prevent epidemics and improve overall community health. It's a proactive approach to disease control, ensuring widespread well-being. Now, let's tackle the first 5 hardest-level questions. 1. Trace the historical evolution of disease concepts from ancient times to the modern era. 2. Explain precision medicine and its role in disease identification, linking it to molecular data. 3. How do genomic sequencing and proteomics contribute to advanced disease diagnosis? 4. Differentiate between disease surveillance and screening programs in public health. 5. Discuss 2 key challenges in accurate disease identification today. Take your time to craft comprehensive answers. Here are the remaining 5 hardest-level questions. 6. Provide an example of how biosensors contribute to point-of-care diagnostics. 7. Why are asymptomatic carriers a significant challenge for public health disease control? 8. Explain the ethical considerations involved in genetic testing for disease predisposition. 9. How does understanding the latency period of a disease impact its identification? 10. Discuss the concept of diagnostic errors and their potential consequences. These questions require detailed and analytical responses. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of disease, definition, and identification. We hope you've gained a comprehensive understanding, from the basics to the most advanced concepts. Remember, mastering these topics is key to excelling in your biology journey. For more such engaging and detailed educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and more exciting lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and stay curious. See you in the next session.